All right, we're back. And in this video, I'm going to go through some of the settings in Teams with you, specifically notifications, just to make sure you don't get notified about every single thing. So just going through these channels, you can see that there are 3 dots. This is called an ellipsis in English. But if you click on the 3 dots, it'll take you to lots of information here, lots of options. You can hide channels, but you can also set the notifications. So notifications can be all notifications. So any posts, replies, or anybody that mentions you, you will be notified, meaning that you'll get a pop-up or you'll have the notification in the activity section on the left side there. You can also customize these. So go into customize and you will see a few more options. Do you want to be notified of all the new posts? If you do, then you have the choice of banner and feed. Banner is a pop-up and feed just makes it show up in the activity section. Or just show it in feed. So maybe you don't want a pop-up banner and you just wanted to show it on the left in the activity section. The activity section is nice because then all of the things that you want to be notified of, you can just quickly go in there and check whatever's new. So you control all of that. Or as you can see here, I have this turned off currently because there's nobody in ADST anyway right now. For channel mentions, this might be important to turn on because you kind of want to know when somebody names you specifically, whether or not you should take a look at that message. You can decide, but I mean, in this case, if somebody named you, you should probably take a look at that message. So you probably want to be notified. So you probably don't want to turn that off, but you have the decision to make whether you want to show the banner, the pop-up, and also have it in the feed, or just have it listed in the feed and there's no pop-up. Okay, so those are some of the options for each of these channels. You can always show more channels, in which case you set the notifications for those, but right now any hidden channels I won't be notified of. So let's say I don't belong to the English department, English Language Arts, then I won't show this, and that way I won't be notified about anything that goes on in there. Now let's go to the settings in general for Teams. On the top right corner, I'm just going to click on my profile icon and go to settings. So in settings, there's a number of different settings for how the app looks. I actually like dark mode, but I'll just leave it on default for now. I actually like list mode, and I'll just show you just briefly what it looks like. When I click on list, it actually shows all the teams that I belong to. So all the teams I'm active in. Whereas grid mode shows teams in a grid. So you actually have to click on one of these and then you kind of just stay in there. Whereas list shows you on the left side. So you can switch back and forth between different channels between the teams. But I'll keep it in grid mode. Let's just go to privacy now. And this is where you can set receipts. So do you want people to know when you've read something? Do you want to see if somebody's read your message? You can decide whether or not to do that. So you can turn it on so you can read receipts, or off and then you can't figure out whether somebody's read it or not. And plus they can't see that you've read something as well. So you decide. Notifications. So this is where you can set all the different notifications you get out of this app. This is really important to spend the time to go through and make sure you don't get notified of absolutely everything. So only the ones that you are really interested in, you get notified for. For example, if I'm in an assessment group and I have an assessment channel in the Delvey team, well, then I do want to get notified about anything that goes on in there, any new posts. Or maybe I only want to be notified when somebody mentions me. In any case, you can go through all of these and set those. I don't like having emails sent to me about, like, you can get an activity email, like all the things that you've missed, you can get that sent to you via email. I like to turn that off. Show message preview, that just means when something pops up, does it show part of your message so you can see what it's about or not? That's up to you. Play sound for incoming calls and notifications. You can decide whether you want to be noisy or not. That's up to you as well. Teams and channels. So either you can turn it all on, all activity, all new messages, reactions, and all mentions, or only mentions and replies only when somebody's named you in a message or replied to one of your messages. Or you can even go to customized. And if you click on this, tons of more options. You can go through each one of these and decide how you want to set them. And then, of course, there's mentions, replies and reactions, notifications for chat, for meetings, etc. So you can go through all of that. Out of all the settings, this is probably the most important, especially, well, you might just leave it as default and see how it is. If it doesn't bother you, then don't bother with changing the settings. However, if messages start bothering you, you're getting too many notifications about things that you're not interested in, you can either hide that channel or you can come in here and change some of your settings. This I won't talk about. Calls. Yes, you can receive calls, video calls or audio calls. You can send or receive calls inside Teams. So you can change some settings here as well, or set your voicemail. And that's pretty much it for the settings. See you next time.